If you live in Redmond, Oregon, and you're thinking about selling your home this year, this video is for you. You might be thinking and quietly wondering, what if my house takes 30 days or 45 days or even 60 days to sell? So let's slow that down and talk about it, because the pace of the market today looks very different than it did just the last couple years. And the different pace doesn't mean that it's broken or that we are in a market crash. It just means that we are in a different phase. Hi, I'm Diana Pullen with Real Broker here in Redmond, Oregon, and I focus on helping steady, thoughtful homeowners make well-positioned decisions before they list their home for sale. Most people that I talk to are not in a rush. They're researching, they're watching the market, they're quietly paying attention to what's sitting and what's selling. So today I want to walk through what days on market actually looks like here in Redmond and how that compares to those crazy years just a couple years ago and what that timeline means for you, because context changes everything. Let's rewind just briefly. From 2021 to the end of 2022, nearly 80% of the homes in Redmond sold in the first 30 days. 80%. The median days on market was 7 days, just 1 week. Homes were often selling above what they were asking for, about 100.8% on average. That wasn't just a vibrant market, that was a highly competitive, urgency-driven cycle. Buyers were competing, the inventory was super limited, the interest rates were really low, people were moving really quickly, they were throwing cash at the deals just to get the house. Across the entire United States, even here in Redmond and Bend, Oregon, that was the tone. But that pace was not sustainable. And sometimes I think we forget that. Okay, so this year, 2026, starting in January till now, about 42% of homes in Redmond are selling in those first 30 days. That means that more than half the homes that are hitting the market are sitting longer than 30 days. The average days on market is 80. The median is 45 days. So the typical home here in Redmond takes about a month and a half to get an offer and a contract. But I want you to know this. There's nothing wrong with that. It's normalization. These buyers are really careful. They compare, they calculate, they look at the payment, not just the price. And that means that their decision-making cycle is a little bit steadier, and steadier can be strong. If your home did take 45 days to sell in Redmond right now, you'd be sitting at that exact current median. And that's important because I think a lot of people feel like they're going to see that as, if my house doesn't go under contract in this very first week, that it's not working. But 45 days on market is not the red flag itself. It's just part of your current absorption pace, which is some nerdy real estate math that I do on the side. And if your house is priced correctly, it tends to keep more of your leverage. At that 0 to 30 day window, those houses are getting about 99% of what they ask for. When you go beyond 30 days, you start to lose your negotiation power and your leverage. It's not a time to panic. You just want to strategically align from day one. But let's get real. What if you did sit for longer than 30 or 45 days? You have limited showings. Nobody's coming to your open house. You've already reduced the price. We just pause and we reassess. It's not emotional. It's just going to be another strategy session. We're going to look at the 5 to 10 houses that are in your price band. Whether your house, when we price it, was priced on just the active listings, or if we were considering the sold data as well, and how that absorption is trending in your segment. More nerdy real estate math. Another thing to think about is whether the buyers are hesitating because of your condition, the other competition or your price positioning. Your days on market is a signal. It's not the problem, it's just an indicator. So something else that I've noticed is that a lot of sellers are carrying that anxiety from the 2021 market into today's market. In today's Central Oregon market, including Redmond and Bend, we're a lot more balanced than it was in 2021. The buyers aren't racing, they're analyzing. And we are still getting multiple offers, but it's more like 3 or 4, not 30. You are not behind. You're just in a different market phase. If you're in the early research phase and you want to talk through your timeline, see what your pricing realistically looks like, shoot me a message or schedule a meeting on my Calendly link on my homepage. You can book a Zoom call or we can meet for coffee or meet in your home, whatever is easiest. There's no obligation, no crazy follow-up, no pressure to list your home. Sometimes it's just helpful to just sit down with somebody and look at the numbers that are specific to you. In my next video, I'm going to talk about how pricing strategy directly influences your days on market in Redmond because your pace and your price are always connected. If that topic's been on your mind, you might want to tune in. My videos always premiere on Mondays at 11:11 Pacific Standard Time. I want you to know that selling a home should feel steady and informed. That's my goal.